Today we discuss about carboxylic acid and its derivatives part 3, session 3. In previous session 1 and session 2, we discussed about different types of carboxylic acid, acidic property of the carboxylic acids, and what are the factors which influence the carboxylic acid, hydrogen bonding, and what are the general methods of the preparation of the carboxylic acid we discussed in the session 1 and session 2. In session 3, we discuss about the chemical properties of the carboxylic acids. Myself, I am Ashok Elshala, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Kakatiya Government College, Hanmakonda, Warangal Urban District, Telangana State, India. Now let us see. The chemical properties of carboxylic acid is divided into the 4 categories. One is said to be the reactions involving H plus ions in COOH, and reactions involving OH group in COOH, reactions involving COOH group, and further reactions involving alkyl group due to the alkyl group. This is one is due to the H, another is due to the OH, and one more is due to the COOH, and finally the fourth one is the alkyl group. Now let us see the first one. What are the reactions that involves H plus ions in the COOH group? Now let us see. This is the reactions involving H plus ions in COOH group is said to be, the first one is reaction with metals. The second one is reaction with carbonates. The third one is reaction with alkalis. These are the 3 reactions which involves H plus ions in COOH group. Let us discuss this first one, reaction with metals. Now, in this reaction with metals, the H plus ions, the carboxylic acids react with active metals like sodium, potassium, zinc, etc. to form salts. With the liberation of hydrogen. You know that the hydrogen is liberated. This is the liberation of hydrogen on reaction with the active metals is a property of the acids. Now let us see, the acetic acid reacts with the sodium metal to form sodium acetate and liberate the hydrogen. You know this is the nothing but it is an acetic acid, it is a sodium acetate. This is the reaction with the metals. Now let us see the other one is the how does the H plus ions, that is the reactions in H plus ions in COH group, how does it reacts with the carbonates? Now let us see this one. In this case, generally the carboxylic acids react with the carbonates to liberate carbon dioxide. This is also property of the acidic property. And let us see, this is going to be the acetic acid. On reacting with the sodium carbonate, it gives sodium acetate and water and liberate the carbon dioxide. And you know, this is an acetic acid, it is a sodium acetate. Let us see the other one is benzoic acid. When it is treated with the sodium carbonate, it will form sodium benzoate and water and liberate carbon dioxide. I told you this, the liberation of the carbon dioxide on treating with the carbonates is a property of the acids. Now let us see, the other one is said to be the third one is a reaction with alkalis. This is also property of the acidic property of the carboxylic acid. Then let us see how does it react. Now let us see this one. Carboxylic acid react with alkali to form the salts. That is generally, in general, acids react with alkali to form salt and water. A type of neutralization reaction. Now let us take this acetic acid reacts with the sodium hydroxide to form sodium acetate and water. Similarly, benzoic acid react with the sodium hydroxide to form sodium benzoate and liberate carbon dioxide. It is only water, it is some mistaken. Now let us go for the other one is chemical properties because of this one. Now let us see this one. If you see, the other one is said to be the reaction with H plus ions in COH, it is completed. The second part is reactions involving OH group and COH group. How does it will be? Now let us go for this one. That is reactions involving OH group in COH. Now, first one is said to be esterification reaction. What is esterification? Generally, the carboxylic acid react with alcohol to form ester and water is called esterification. This occurs in acidic or basic medium. And this is a reversible reaction. Let us see. Another one is reaction with PCl5. Another third one is the dehydration, formation of acid amides. These are the 4 reactions that will be discussed in this case. Now let us go to the first one is the esterification reaction. Now in this esterification reaction, reactions involving OH group in COOH, that is the first one is esterification. Just now I told you carboxylic acid react with alcohol in the presence of acidic or basic medium to form esters. This reaction is called esterification. You know, this is a reversible reaction. The carboxylic acid react with these alcohols, that is in presence of either acidic or basic medium to form ester and water. This is carboxylic acid, this is alcohol, and this is ester. That is hydrogen of the alcohol, this, and OH of the carboxylic acid react to give the ester. Now let us see this reaction. What is this one in esterification? Example, let us take acetic acid react with ethyl alcohol in presence of acidic or basic medium to form ethyl ester. And you can see this reaction. This is acetic acid, it is an ethyl alcohol. On reaction with in presence of acidic or basic medium, it forms ester and water. And you know, this is a what is called as the acetic acid, ethyl alcohol, and this is what is going to be the ethyl acetate. Now let us see, in this esterification reaction, the rate of esterification with the different alcohols is in this order. The methyl alcohol is more reactive than ethyl alcohol. It is more reactive than isopropyl alcohol, than isobutyl alcohol. Now you see, that is with increasing the length of the chain, the rate of reactivity decreases. And similarly, for the same alcohol, the order of the esterification of a given carboxylic acid is in this way. That is, formic acid reacts faster than the acetic acid, it reacts faster than the isopropanoic acid, then isobutanoic acid. Here also you can observe that with increasing the length of the chain or bulky group and the alpha hydrogen, the rate of the esterification decreases. In the case of the aromatic acids, if you observe in the case of the aromatic acids, in which ortho substance is absent or easily esterified, means at the ortho position, if it is not occupied, then it is easy. The rate of esterification is in this order. That is, benzoic acid esterified faster than the orthotolic acid, then the 2,6-dimethyl benzoic acid. If you observe, when a group is present at the ortho position, some steric factor influences the esterification reaction. That's why the benzoic acid, that is, if they at ortho position, if any group is absence of at ortho position will it increases the rate of esterification reaction. Now let us see this one. See, esterification reaction. What is the mechanism involved in here? If you see the mechanism of the esterification reaction, that is in acidic medium, first one is said to be the protonation of the carboxylic acid. How does it will be? See, the carboxylic acid, the carbonyl oxygen is present, that will be get protonated in acidic medium, so that we will get a carbocation, that is a nucleophilic center. And in the second step, electrophilic attack. And in this electrophilic attack, already you know that there is a positively charged carbon, that is a carbonium ion is formed. You know that on the alcohol, there is a lone pair of electron is present here. A lone pair of electron is present. And because this is acts as a strong that is nucleophile, and then this is goes to this attacks on the positively charged carbon, and you will get an intermediate where the oxygen will get the positive charge. And the third step involves deprotonation. How does it will be? The deprotonation takes place is like this. How does this proton will be removed? Because the oxygen is positively charged. When oxygen get positive charge, it is unstable and it immediately loses a proton, and you will get an intermediate compound where a single carbon having two OH groups. And it is in general, we know that when a carbon contains more than one OH group, it is unstable and immediately loses a water molecule. That's why the fourth step is the loss of water. And you see this one, the loss of water takes place. Finally, you will get the ester. This is in the presence of acidic medium. And if you see the same reaction, okay, now let us see this one. That is the esterification reaction with the mechanism. Now let us go for the second reaction, reaction with the PCl5. Now let us see how does it react with the PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride. Now let us see carboxylic acid react with either PCl3 or PCl5 or thionyl chloride. Generally they produce acid chlorides. And this is the way the acetic acid react with the PCl3 and form acetyl chloride. And next, benzoic acid react with the PCl5 and you will get benzoyl chloride. And another one you can say benzoyl chloride. And one more, benzoic acid when treated with the sulfurethional chloride, it will give what is called benzoyl chloride, sulfur dioxide and HCl. And it is a common practice that to prepare this type of compounds, we mainly use the thionyl chloride. Now let us see the other one is the dehydration reaction. What is a dehydration reaction? A removal of water. The third one is a dehydration reaction, a removal of water. What is the removal of water? How does it happen? Now let us see. When generally the carboxylic acid get dehydrated in the presence of strong dehydrating agents like what is called as the phosphorus pentoxide, or by passing the vapors over heated catalyst and sodium, that is NaNH4 HPO4 plus BPO4, that is metaphosphate, and boron phosphate at 60 degrees centigrade to give the acid anhydride. Anhydration means nothing but removal of the water, so that this is one acetic acid molecule, this is another acetic acid molecule. When heated in presence of phosphorus pentoxide, loses water molecule and you will get acetic anhydride. This is what we call it as the dehydration reaction. Now let us see this one. The other one we can say that is that is the third one is the dehydration. The fourth one is formation of acid amides. Then how does it is reaction involving in this one? The fourth one is the formation of acid amides. Carboxylic acids on treatment with ammonia give first of all ammonium salt, which on heating in presence of phosphorus pentoxide loses a water molecule to corresponding amide. Let us see, this is acetic acid when heated with the ammonia. First we will get ammonium acetate, followed by when it is heated in presence of phosphorus pentoxide, we will get estamide. See, this is acetic acid, this is ammonium acetate and estamide. That is, first it reacts with ammonia, ammonium acetate formed. When it is dehydrated, means when treated with the phosphorus pentoxide at high temperature, estamide is formed. Now, benzoic acid. When benzoic acid is treated with the ammonia, we will get ammonium benzoate, which is on dehydration in presence of phosphorus pentoxide, we will get benzamide. See, in this way, benzoic acid and you'll get ammonium benzoate and benzamide is formed. Now, this is what is said to be the formation of amides. Now let us go for the other reaction. We call it as this one reaction involving this OH group in COOH we discussed now. Now let us go for the reactions involving COOH groups. COOH group. Now let us see this one, reactions involving COOH group. And there are many reactions are there. We discuss one by one. One is decarboxylation, another is electrolysis of sodium or potassium salts, and third one is heating calcium salts, that is dry distillation of the calcium salts. Another one is said to be the Hans-Decker reaction, another is said to be the reduction, one more is said to be the Schmidt reaction, another is Arndt-Weisstadt synthesis, and reduction of the corresponding primary alcohol via ester. These are the different types of reactions. Let us discuss one by one. First one is the decarboxylation. What is decarboxylation? Nothing but removal of carboxyl group. Simply removal of carbon dioxide. Now let us see the first one. Anhydrous alkali salts of carboxylic acids on dry distillation with soda lime. What is soda lime? It is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide, and they yield alkane. Means decarboxylation of anhydrous salts of the carboxylic acids will give the alkane. Let us see one example. That is, it is a sodium salt of carboxylic acid, and this mixture is called as soda lime, and that will give the alkane, and this reaction is called what? Decarboxylation reaction. Sodium salt of carboxylic acid on heating with the soda lime, a decarboxylating reagent will produce a alkane. Let us see what is the mechanism involved. The salts decomposes by SE1 reaction, means elimination, that is first order reaction. Now let us see this one. First, you know, this is a carboxylate ion where a negative charge is present on the oxygen. This will be come to here, and then this will be removed, and you will get an alkyde ion, anion, and a carbon dioxide. This alkyde ion, now during the acidification, what happens, you see, it will take the H plus ions and we will get the alkane like this. That is, this is the removal of the carbon dioxide. Now let us see one more. Acid undergoes decarboxylation as follow. That is, the previously we discussed about, this is regarding the acid anion. Now let us see this is the carboxylic acid. And during the decarboxylation in presence of soda lime, you know that the sodium hydroxide, that is OH plus ion, take this H plus ion, so that we will get the negatively charged ion. And now just now I told you that this will be removed as a carbon dioxide, and you will get an alkyde anion, and this will take the H plus ion. Here it is removed, then you get presence of electron withdrawing groups favor the decarboxylation. That is, here more is the electron withdrawing group, more will be the easily undergoes decarboxylation. Now let us see the other one is electrolysis. What is this electrolysis? See, electrolysis of concentrated aqueous solution of alkali salts of carboxylic acids, and gives, you know, that just now these alkanes, that you know. Now let us see, this is the case. This sodium acetate, during the electrolysis, what this is one sodium acetate molecule, this is another sodium acetate molecule. During the electrolysis, the carbon dioxide will be removed, and this sodium metal is formed, and this is collected at anode, this is collected cathode, and methane also collected at anode. That is going to be, this is the ethane. In this way, during the electrolysis of concentrated aqueous solution of alkali salts, we will get the alkane. See, this is the what is happened during the reaction. Now let us see, the other one is said to be the electrolysis of potassium salts. Now let us say this is the case. Calcium salts of carboxylic acids other than formic acid on strong heating gives ketones when heated along with the calcium formate calcium, that is aldehyde. Actually here it is calcium salt, electrolysis. Okay, this is electrolysis, and this is going to be the electrolysis of calcium salts or dry distillation of the calcium salts of carboxylic acids other than formic acid. You can see this one. When calcium acetate alone, it is distillated. When calcium acetate alone is distillated, we will get aceto. Whereas if you see this compound, if the mixture of calcium acetate and calcium formate is involved in the dry distillation, we will get the aldehyde. That means the calcium salts alone will give the ketones, whereas the mixture of calcium carboxylic ion and calcium formate. That means when a calcium formate is involved, it is always results in the formation of the aldehyde. Okay, this is nothing but dry distillation of the calcium salts actually. Okay, now go to the other reaction is going to be the Hans-Decker reaction. What is this Hans-Decker reaction? This is very simple. The silver salts of carboxylic acid when heated in the presence of carbon tetrachloride with a halogen gives alkyl halide. And let us see, this is the silver salts of the carboxylic acid when treated with the bromine in presence of a when it is heated, you will get the alkyl halide. Now let us see this one. The silver salts of aromatic acid in which the nucleus is ortho dash substituted when heated with an alkyl halide gives esters very easily. This is in the case of the aliphatic silver salts. This is in the case of the aromatic silver salts. Let us see this one. You know what is the name of this compound is? This is going to be the 2,6-dimethyl silver benzoate when heated with ethyl bromide. You will get the 2,6-dimethyl ethyl benzoate is formed. That is 2,6-dimethyl silver benzoate. We will give this ethyl bromide, and this is 2,6-dimethyl benzoate is formed. Now let us go for the other reaction is the reduction. Generally, the carboxylic acids are very resistant to the reduction, and the reduction is very difficult. Reduction of the carboxylic acid is very difficult on prolonged heating with concentrated hydrogen iodide and red phosphorus under very high pressure gives the alkanes. This is going to be the acetic acid on heating with the hydrogen iodide. You will get the ethyl. Now let us see this acetic acid. This is going to be the ethyl. Now let us take the other one is the carboxylic acid is easily reduced to alcohol with lithium aluminum iodide or with hydrogen in presence of the catalyst like copper and chromium oxide. That means normal reduction is difficulty, but with lithium aluminum iodide or hydrogen in presence of a special catalyst called copper chromium oxide, and this is going to be the acetic acid and hydrogen iodide, ethyl alcohol and water is formed, lithium aluminum iodide. Now let us go for the other one is a Schmidt reaction. What is a Schmidt reaction? Schmidt reaction is nothing but carboxylic acid react with hydrojoic acid in presence of sulfuric acid to give primer amine. It is a special reaction. What is the specialty of this reaction? That means an acid reacts with another acid. See, this is an acid, this is an acid, this is a carboxylic acid, this is a hydrogen acid. An acid reacts with another acid in presence of an acid, but it gives the product is a base. This is special reaction. An acid reacts with an acid in presence of an acid to form a base. This is special reaction. Such type of reactions are very rare, and this reaction is called as the Schmidt reaction. Carboxylic acid, hydrojoic acid, and primary amine. Let us take this one. When a solution of aromatic carboxylic acid in concentrated sulfuric acid, when treated with the chloroform solution of hydrojoic acid, and you will get a primary amine. This is called aromatic acid or benzoic acid you can take. And this hydrozoic acid, this aniline or aromatic combine. This is what is a Schmidt reaction. What is the specialty of the Schmidt reaction? What is the specialty of the Schmidt reaction? This you know that an acid react with another acid in presence of an acid to form a base. Now let us go for the another one. This is going to be the Arndt-Weishaupt synthesis. And this is also a special reaction where you will get, that is enhancing the one carbon in the carboxylic acid. Generally, the acid chlorides readily react with the diazomethane and gives diazoketone. This is an intermediate. When diazoketone on warming with water in presence of silver oxide catalyst forms the next homologue of the parent acid. Suppose if we start with the 2 carbons, you will get the 3 carbon carboxylic acid. That means 1 carbon is increased. That means homologue of the parent acid. For example, RCOOH, that is a carboxylic acid, when treated with the thionyl chloride will get a acid chloride. And here this acid chloride when treated with the diazomethane, first you will get, this is what is called as the diazoketone. And this is on heating in presence of silver, and you will get a ketene. This is called as a ketene. This is on heating with silver ions or silver salts, you will get the carbon. Here it is a, for example, if it is a 2 carbon, it is going to be the 3 carbon. This is a diazomethane and a diazoketone, and it is a ketene and a carboxylic acid. Now let us take an example for this one. See, this is a 2 carbon, and in presence of that is acetic acid gives the propanoic acid. Here thionyl chloride, first it is treated with thionyl chloride to form acetyl chloride, and a diazomethane when treated with that is going to be we will get a, that is diazoketone is formed. And third step we will use the silver salt where ketene is formed, and fourth step we will get on heating in presence of silver, we will get this one. That means if we start with the 2 carbons, we will get the 3 carbon carboxylic acid. This is what is called as Arndt-Weishaupt synthesis. See what is the mechanism involved in this one. See, mechanism involved is initially the diazomethane is acylated by the acid chloride to give a diazoketone. Now let us see, this is the case. This is acid chloride and this is the diazomethane, and this will give, this will be adds here, and so that oxygen will get the negative charge, and this is again migrated to between the 2 carbon and oxygen, and chlorine is eliminated. And in the next step, what happens here? There is some migration that takes place, and bond migration of the bonds takes place, and we will get a diazoketone. And nextly, what will get the HCl liberated, that is here this is the chlorine, here it is chlorine, here one hydrogen is removed, together it is HCl is formed in this first step. The HCl liberated in the first step must be neutralized by a suitable base to avoid the formation of chloromethyl ketone. Usually 2 moles of diazomethane are used to avoid this side reaction. Now let us see, the formed diazoketone is rearranged to give a ketene. The rearrangement from diazoketone to the ketene is called as a Wolff rearrangement. See here, there is a rearrangement takes place. How does it is? This is going to be when it is heated in presence of silver, nitrogen is liberated, we will get a carbene. This is what is called as a ketene or carbene formation. And when it is heated in presence of silver, what happens? There is a migration of alkyl group to this, what I meant to say, carbene. This is case. So that a ketene is formed. That is the rearrangement from a carbene to the ketene, and this rearrangement is called as the Wolff rearrangement. This is case the Wolff rearrangement. Now let us see. In this case, after Wolff's rearrangement, the silver salts like that is silver benzoate or silver oxide along with heat or light catalyzes the Wolff rearrangement. the configuration of OR group different during the Wolff rearrangement is retained. That is, in the case of the what I mean to say optically active compounds, during the Wolff rearrangement, there is no change in the configuration of the alkyl. The ketene is immediately attacked by an appropriate nucleophile in the solution. Now you can see this one. See, there is a ketene. What happens if it is ketene is treated with the water? You will get a carboxylic acid. If the ketene is treated with an alcohol, you will get an ester. If the ketene is treated with amine, an amide. That means these are all are said to be the what you call as a nucleophiles. That means soon after the formation of the ketene, whatever the compounds you need to prepare, you have to treat with this the respective nucleophile. This is what is Arndt-Oester synthesis. In this Arndt-Oester synthesis, what I told you, that is one carbon starting with that is the product is always one carbon is enhanced in the case of the carboxylic acid. Now let us see the other reaction is the reduction to the corresponding primary alcohol via ester. How does it will be formed? Carboxylic acids are very difficult to reduce either by catalytic hydrogenation or with sodium and ethanol. However, lithium aluminum hydride carboxylic acid reduces to the primary alcohol like this. Carboxylic acid is reduces to the primary alcohol. Now in the first step, the acid react with the lithium aluminum hydride in ether solvent, then a complex of aluminum salt of the acid is formed with the liberation of the hydrogen. And this is the case. This is going to the carboxylic acid, lithium aluminum hydride, and you will get a intermediate aluminum salt of the carboxylic acid is formed, and this will be liberated the hydrogen. Now let us see this one. The next is the nucleophile attack of the hydride ions formed from the lithium aluminum hydride takes place at the carboxylic carbon of the acid. Then the primary alcohol is formed. See, this is the case that is formed in the here. And now what happens here? This is going to be this will give the aldehyde, and finally it converts into the alcohol. Now let us say this is the same. The overall reaction can be written as like this. That is carboxylic acid with lithium aluminum hydride. Hydrogen is liberated, and we will get an intermediate salt. This one, and this will going to be the acidification. We will get the alcohol. Example, if you take, this is going to be the tertiary isopropyl butanoic acid. When treated with the lithium aluminum hydride, you will get an intermediate compound that is intermediate salt, and which on acidification we will get isopentyl alcohol. Now this is the case. Now let us go for the very important reactions involving, see, till now we discussed about the reactions involving H+ ions in COOH group, reactions involving OH group in COOH, and reactions involving COOH. Now the last one is the reactions involving the alkyl group. Let us see this one. In this case, one important reaction is Hell-Wohlhard-Zelensky reaction. What is this Hell-Wohlhard-Zelensky reaction? The carboxylic acids are readily halogenated in the alpha position. In the presence of halogen and red phosphorus. See, this is the case. That is acetic acid when treated with the chlorine in presence of red phosphorus. First we will get the monochloroacetic acid, that is 2-chloroacetic acid. Then further it is that there are 2 more hydrogens are there at alpha position, and 1 more chlorine is substituted, and you will get 2,2-dichloroacetic acid. and here one more hydrogen is there, it is finally substituted, and we'll get 2,2,2 trichloroacetic acid. Means what you have to remember is, all alpha hydrogens, that is hydrogens present at alpha position, are substituted by the chlorine in presence of red phosphate. This reaction is called Hell-Volhard-Zelensky reaction. And one more example you can say, if you take the propanoic acid, then and treated with the chlorine, you see there will be 2 alpha hydrogens at alpha position, and in the first step one chlorine is removed, you will get 2-chloropropanoic acid, and then one more hydrogen is there, and that will give the what, one more hydrogen is substituted, and you will get 2,2-dichloropropanoic acid. And here we can observe that we discussed, what we discussed is, see, we discussed the various types of reactions, in this case reactions involving H plus ions in COH, that we know that the different reactions. Let us look: reaction with metals, a reaction with carbonates, a reaction with alkalis, isn't it? Now if you see this one, and another one is a reaction involving OH group in COOH. We discuss the different types of reactions. What are the different types of reactions we discussed? Let's see. That is esterification, reaction with PCl5, the dehydration reaction, and formation of amides we discussed. And another we can see that one, another we can say that, see, one more reaction we discussed is the reaction involving COOH group. What are these reactions involving? Decarboxylation, electrolysis of sodium or potassium salts, heating calcium salts, Hans-Decker reaction, reduction, Schmidt reaction, Arndt-Weisstadt synthesis, reduction of the corresponding primary alcohol via ester. These are the reactions we discussed in this case, isn't it? Now finally what we discussed is reactions involving what is called as the alkyl group is we discussed. Alkyl group is discussed here. Finally we discussed about reactions involving alkyl group, and this one reaction we discussed here, that is Hell-Volhard-Zelensky reaction. And this is going to be the Hell-Volhard-Zelensky reaction. With this, we can know that these are the very common general properties of the carboxylic acids. I think you followed this one. With this, I can conclude my topic, and you can soon to be a chemist, and you can do these experiments after doing this one. And thank you. With this session, I can conclude the general properties of the carboxylic acid, and we will meet in another session with carboxylic acid derivatives at the 4th session, and where we'll discuss about acid anhydrides, acid chlorides, and esters, amides. This we'll discuss in the session 4. Okay, thank you, one and all.